What is up, you guys? Today I am doing a 2023 NFL mock draft. This is right after the bowl game, right before the bowl games, actually, for college football. Uh, Post Thursday Night Football. This is right after the Baker Mayfield led Rams led the comeback against the Raiders. So yeah, let's go ahead and get started with number one overall pick. Where's my mouse? Number one overall pick in this draft. I don't think this is obvious who's it's going to go to. I think Bryce Young is the clear number one pick here. Um, just I don't think Bryce. I don't think anybody else is close to him. Now the second overall pick. I think the Bears. They're not going to go quarterback because they've got their quarterback of the future. They could either go Jalen Carter, Brian Bresee, or Will Anderson. I'm going to go Will Anderson here because they need to rebuild that defense. Their defense was their strong suit for a long time until this season. I think their defense took a major step back. But yeah. So then the third overall pick, the Lions. I think they're a very solid team. I think there's a couple defensive weaknesses. But I think you wait to take those because there's a lot of teams who I think could go quarterback in this draft. You've got the Seahawks, who I don't have going quarterback, but they could go quarterback. The Panthers could go quarterback. The Raiders could, there's a lot of teams who could go quarterback. And so by the time they have that next pick, their pick could be gone. So I think they're going to go with, I don't know why he's not the odd option, but CJ Stroud has to be this pick here. Number 3 overall, CJ Stroud. Let's go to the Seahawks. They're not going to go quarterback yet, I don't think. Because I think they're going to have to pay Geno Smith. So I think the option is Jalen Carter or Brian Bresee. I think I'm going to give them Jalen Carter for now, just because it's like you're getting one or the other. I think Jalen Carter's had a great season. So yeah. And now the Patriots. I think this is they do not need defensive line help, if you ask me. They don't really need a quarterback. They've got Kenny Pickett. I'm gonna give them Peter Skoronski out of Northwestern. It's a solid pick. Need a little offensive line help to protect that star running back and that future star quarterback, you'd hope. The Panthers. Here's the thing. They have Matt Corral. The issue is, it was an old system under Matt Rule that drafted Matt Corral, so you have no idea if Corral is even wanted by this team. So this is where I see it's a possibility that Will Levis goes. But, I mean, I think if you're the Panthers, you don't really need defensive line crazy amount. You have Brian Burns. But, I mean, you pair Brian Bresee with Brian Burns, man. I don't think you can pass that up. So, yeah, I'm going to give them Brian Bresee. He wouldn't be off the edge. I don't know why I said off the edge. He would not be off the edge. And then, oh, Lord. We're going to take, for the Philadelphia Eagles, I don't think they have, like, a crazy weakness at the moment. I'm sorry if the lighting's really messing me up right now. I have a concussion, so the lighting might mess with my brain a little bit. Anyways, my mic off? No, it's not. Okay. I think they're going to have to go Myles Murphy here. They've got some older defensive guys. I think they want to go here with Myles Murphy, see what they can get out of that. I like that idea a lot. Now, the Cardinals. I don't think they're going to go quarterback. Quentin Johnson is the option here. I do not think they're going to go a wide receiver here. I think they probably go edge rusher here, see what they can get. I think Nolan Smith is a great option. So we're going to give them Nolan Smith out of Georgia. The Packers. Oh, boy. So you've got Will Levis, who I don't think they're going to go quarterback. But, I mean, if that's a possibility, they could go quarterback. Quentin Johnson out of TCU could be a solid option. They could go Cam Smith, pair up somebody. But I think when you look at it, they've already got a very solid wide receiver one in my eyes in Watson. I think you pair up Quentin Johnston, and you just see what you can get out of those two. I think, yeah, Quentin Johnson seems like the best option. Now, the Raiders. Ooh, hoo, hoo, hoo. You see, I don't think the Raiders' struggles are fully from Derek Carr. I think there's a lot of other issues. One of those being not wide receivers. One of them being their coaches. So I think you either go Cam Smith or Tyree Wilson. Uh, they're gonna go Cam Smith. They've got some decent D linemen. I can't think of their names right now, so sorry about that. Anyways, the Houston Texans again. They took who was it earlier? They took they took Bryce Young. So they're not going to go Will Levis. I mean, do you pair him with Jordan Addison? Because I think that's a solid option there. I think you either go Jordan Addison, Michael Mayer, or you take a corner. In my eyes, I think you've got to go. I think you take the corner here, Kelee Ringo, out of Georgia. See what you can get out of him. I think he's probably one of the better situations. I mean, you don't need a quarterback. I mean, I guess you could use an. Yeah, we're gonna go Tyree Wilson actually, out of Texas Tech. Get the best player available that they need at that moment. I don't think he's the best player available, but I think he is the best player that fits one of their strengths. Anyways, so we're gonna go to the Jaguars now. I believe this is their first pick of the draft, but I'm not sure. The Jaguars. Ooh. You could get wide receiver, you could get corner, you could get oh my goodness. I think I've figured it out here. I think you're gonna go I don't know. I think they'd probably take we're gonna give them Jordan Addison out of USC. Solid wide receiver to pair up with that guy. And now the 13th pick, the Lions, they already drafted. Did they draft a quarterback? I can't remember if they drafted a quarterback. Yeah, they drafted CJ Stroud. Okay, I was gonna give them I was gonna give them Will Levis, but they already drafted a quarterback, so that's useless. The 13th pick, the Lions, they've already gotten some huge trench help. You go. They just traded T.J. Hockenson, so maybe Michael Mayer would be a good spot here, but I don't think you're looking for offense here. I think you're looking for defense in this spot. So we're gonna go with Kelee Ringo out of Georgia, the corner. And now the Colts. This is a no-brainer for me. This is where Will Levis goes. He's the quarterback, and they need a quarterback at the moment. I think the Colts would take this with open arms. And now you've got an issue here. You've got the Falcons. If you're smart here, you take I haven't really been paying attention to the Falcons. They don't need a running back. They probably could use a wide receiver, but they don't need a tight end. So, I mean, I don't think Josh Downs is a smart pick here yet. I love Josh Downs, but I don't think he's quite that good to go top 15. I think Josh Downs would go just outside the first round to probably the Texans, if you ask me, but I don't know. I'm going to probably take, QB. There's not really good QB in this spot. We're going to go Brian Branch, pair a corner on the other side of AJ Terrell. Now the Seahawks. They already have one pick from this draft. This is where I think who'd they have last time? They had Jalen Carter, the defensive lineman. Let's go. Oof. You could go. I think you're gonna go Michael Mayer here. I think you get one more just insane offensive weapon there, just for Geno Smith to be like, okay, cool. Actually, I don't know. Do you want to get a tight end or do you want to get a tackle? Tight end or tackle, in my eyes, is probably the best options here. I think you go tight end. I mean, their tackles. I mean, there's not like I'm not again. I haven't watched enough Seahawks games, but I haven't been sitting there going like, oh my gosh, if Geno Smith had a better offensive line, he'd be great. No, we were saying that about Russell Wilson, and Russell Wilson's not doing great. Anyways, Anyways, the Chargers. I think you have to go tackle here, just to ensure that there's health. ensure there's better health. I'm pretty sure they have good tackle depth, but they can maybe move along the offensive line, take some people inside. So yeah, we're gonna take Paris Johnson there. The Patriots, it says they need a QB. I don't think they need a QB. I think they could probably use a corner, maybe an edge rusher. I think their defense has always been really good. I think you take a wide receiver, Jackson Smith and Nijgaba, I think is his name. I'm not sure how to pronounce that. Yeah, we're gonna take him right there. Might be a bit of a reach, but I think it's what they need most right there. And then on the clock is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I think a quarterback could go here. Very much so. A quarterback that I think, who's the quarterback? Richardson? Is that the guy from? Yeah, Anthony Richardson. I think that's where you take Richardson out of that spot. And then the Washington Commanders, it says they need a quarterback. I disagree. I think Taylor Heinicke is their quarterback for a couple years until they can find a really good quarterback in the draft, which I don't think there's a good quarterback at number 20 right now. So, now if they end up getting in a spot to draft CJ Stroud or Will Levis, I would definitely, I don't even know if Will Levis would be a good option. But if they've got a good bridge quarterback for now. So, we're going to go with their, Broderick Jones, or maybe, I don't think they need an edge. They got Chase Young. We're going to go, who's their, I don't even know who their cornerbacks are. I'm going to go with a corner right there. Now the Ravens. This is where I don't think it's really that wild to say here. I think Josh Downs. I think a wide receiver is a prime spot, and as much as I want him to fall, I don't think if the only wide receiver available here is Josh Downs, I think 21st pick, it's a bit of a reach, but he's the best option here. North Carolina wide receiver Josh Downs. Hope he does great things. The Jets. Oof. A quarterback would be okay here. Again, I don't think they, like, Mike White, you have no idea how consistent he is, but their defense is also really great. So, I think, in reality here, I think you would do a trade back. I don't do trade backs in my draft, because I think that's a little too much complicated. I've only got 3 minutes left before my videos are going to end. I have to stitch 2 videos together, and I don't want to do that. So we're going to try to go fast here. I think do they need an edge rusher? I don't know. I think we're going to go tackle Broderick Jones. That's not as much about the player, just more about the position need. And the Bengals, their O-line hasn't been a crazy problem this year, although it has been somewhat of a problem. But there's no really options here, as Broderick Jones just went. In reality, I think that would be a good trade-off spot for him. But let's see, what's a good option here? I don't know. I think that's a bit of a reach to take a tackle there. We're gonna go. I mean, who are their edge rushers at the moment? They have a decent safety, but Justin Simmons might leave in free agency. So once free agencies happen, that's gonna be a good draft. Because, like, okay, you've got Antonio Johnson when Simmons leaves in free agency, that's who it is. But right now, I think I'm going to have to go with Jared Versey. Or Verse, whatever. I don't know his name. And now, New York Giants on the clock. I don't think they need a quarterback right now, but I do think they need a wide receiver. I think this is where, in reality, some of the wide receivers hopefully drop down to, and this is where they would go. But, I mean, I don't know. They have Saquon Barkley, so they don't need a running back. Yeah, let's go. I don't think this draft's updated. These draft picks aren't updated. It says, oh yeah, there's only 31 draft picks, whatever. I'm pretty sure that the Chiefs are behind the Eagles or behind the Bills in real life, but whatever. So, Tanner McGee would probably not go here. I mean, they need a quarterback, but I think this is not a good spot for him. It says he's 18th. I haven't even heard of this guy. I'm not really much of a draft analyst guy, but I'm just going for, like, the positions here. They don't really need an edge rusher. I'm gonna go linebacker. Trenton Simpson out of Clemson. It's a good spot where they need something. And now this is where. Alright, sorry about that little break there. I had to take a little bit of an intermission. Anyways, we have about 7 picks left. Let's go through this real quick. So, the Broncos, I think you have a safety option possibility. Safety, maybe. You have safety, maybe an edge rusher. I think they did just lose Bradley Chubb. I think an edge rusher is probably the way to go here. Now the Titans. Now, the wide receivers from here on out probably aren't the best. Yeah, you don't want to take a wide receiver here. So, this Tanner McGee kid, I've never watched highlights on this kid ever. But the other quarterbacks in this class, in my opinion, are better than him. At least I've heard of these guys better. Guys like Bo Nix, Hendon Hooker, like those guys are good. The issue is Hendon Hooker's injury probably brings him down a little bit. So, I don't think this is a good spot for a quarterback yet. Safety, maybe. Edge rusher, maybe. Tackle, maybe. You can't see that, but there's a tackle option down there. So, I think probably want to go. We're going to go safety Antonio Johnson. See what you can get out of him there. And now this is where you kind of get confused, because people say that I've seen mock drafts where the Cowboys go Bijan Robinson, the Texas halfback. I think that would be really stupid, because you've got Zeke, who's who's not really good, but he's good enough to be a starter in my opinion. And you've got Pollard, who should be the starter. So I think you don't need an edge rusher. I think the best situation here would probably be a tackle, or a corner maybe. You could go Christian Gonzalez. You could go Anthony. I'm gonna go Anton Harrison out of Oklahoma. There, I think that's the best possible scenario. And now the Buffalo Bills. You could go edge. You could go halfback. I think you got 2 edge options. You've got a halfback. You've got Christian Gonzalez out of Oregon. You've got the guard Osiris Torrance out of Florida. You've got Joey Porter. You've got Porter. You've got some other options. I think, in reality, you could go maybe that linebacker. Who was that linebacker at? Drew Sanders. That's a bit too far of a reach. In this scenario, I think Bijan Robinson's a bit of a reach as he's a running back. But, in this scenario, where else do you go? Christian Gonzalez or Bijan Robinson. I think you go Christian Gonzalez, pair him up beside Trey White, see what you can get. And the Dolphins forfeited pick, which means you have the Vikings at 29. Could you go? I don't think you go quarterback here, if I'm being completely honest. I think you don't go you don't go quarterback, you don't go halfback. Edge rusher, maybe guard. I'm trying to think of their edge rushers, I can't think of any of them. So I think we're gonna go Isaiah Foskey. Yeah. Out of Notre Dame. I think that's the best scenario. Now, the Chiefs. We've got a good linebacker core, in my opinion. I think you could, Frank Clark as an edge rusher, he's way overpaid. I don't know when his contract ends. That's a pretty bad contract. I hope we get out of that soon. But get rid of Frank Clark, mate. If we ever get rid of Frank Clark, then we can go edge here. If not, I'm trying to think, because we've got our linebacker core is solid. Our cornerbacks could probably use some help. So yeah, I'm gonna go with. Oh, what's happening? Nope, not that. You have Joey Porter, Clark. You have the Syracuse kid. You got that guy. I think you go Joey Porter out of Penn State. I don't see why not. And then the Philadelphia Eagles. What did they go earlier? I believe I had them go edge rusher earlier. Yeah, I don't see why not. But I think you go. I mean, you don't need a running back in this spot. They already went edge rusher. Maybe I think you go corner again here. Clark Phillips III out of Utah. Corner. It's a bit of a reach, but I mean, in this spot, you just go for the best possible scenario. In my eyes, I think the best player available that they need. I mean, you've got B.J. Ojolari, but they already went draft. They don't need a running back. I guess you could go O-line there. I mean, like, between these two, Osiris and Clark Phillips. And I'll go Phillips to third because I think you make that defense even better. Just, yeah. And I do not want to do the third round. So, how the heck do I stop that? I don't want to do a third round draft. I need to move that over there to do that. Okay, so then. And that just reset it all. Okay, well, I wanted to go through and do a little double check of all the draft, but I can't do that because it just reset. So, yeah, sorry about that. Yeah, guys, wish I could, can't. Anyways, guys, thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed this mock draft. If you have any, things that you think I could change, leave it down below. And, yeah, see you guys in the next video. Sorry I could not upload a podcast today. Again, I am currently sick with a mild concussion. The next guy, hopefully in a couple weeks. I'm debating going live for the Chiefs Christmas, I believe it's Christmas Eve game against the Seahawks. I'm debating going live for that game. If you guys think that's a good idea, please say so. If you don't think it's a good idea, tell me that as well. I want all of your ideas. Also, if you want to if you want to talk to me about draft stuff, follow me on Instagram at BenUNC Jr. and talk to me on there or comment down below. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace out.